I'm Paul Roberts. This is Conscious Counseling 101. This is a generic video for someone that writes in, and I'll read the letter. It's a long one, but I'm going to read it. Greetings, my husband and I have divorced. Before the divorce, he ghosted me to move to another state. He tried to start a relationship with my former best friend of 20 years. She turned him down. I was also pregnant at the time, but miscarried. He came back after a little over a month. He did a lot of coming back, leaving over several months after that. Eventually, we got evicted because I stay at home. I'm a stay-at-home wife, and he was the provider. I decided to get in the car the day of the eviction and leave. He decided of all days to come back. He had money, so I let him drive the car with me. While in the car, he'd keep his earbuds in, still ignoring me. I stayed silent too. Well, it's over a year later, and I'm still relying on him financially, living in a car in a motel. He's also crossed sexual boundaries while I was sleeping. I'm celibate. He did that for months. Sometimes he would do more than just touch me in my sleep. In between, there has been so much gaslighting and other emotional abuse that he's done. He downplays my pain so much. After so long of being silent, I tried talking to him. Then I started screaming. Then I attempted, trigger warning, suicide a couple of times. He began to change a little after that, though inconsistent love bombing. I got to a point where I started slapping him. Yesterday I choked him for attempting to cross a boundary that would have put me in danger. After asking him not to several times, I know I need to leave. I just don't know how. I'm 26. My parents won't help. My mom dangled $10,000 to me, but used it for herself instead. I prayed for a therapist. Then I saw this post. Any advice you have, I'm all ears. I tried to keep it short. Thank you for reading. This is an unusual one. I don't usually get one like this. Put that over there. I'll just tell you, I'm in my workshop studio. This is just part of it. I had it set up because I was doing a video earlier. I do costuming, Batman things, so this is kind of like a pseudo bat cave behind me. But anyway, I had it set up anyway, so I thought I'd talk to you from here. Let me turn off this light. All right. You're 26 years old. Okay? You're making all the common moves that a 26-year-old would make, and you're going to have all the common things that are going to happen to you. And the way that I would be able to help you is to say, you'd almost have to trust me that there's another way to live. I know it because I've done it. One of the reasons I don't charge for my services is because I'm only doing it to help. That's the only reason. I know I've done something well, and I want to share it with others that are in pain, and they might want to learn from a little bit of what I do well. And if you look at this site, you can see I go down all the things I struggle through. If you really want to get into my head and figure out why do I know what I know, and that is I don't know, it's because I'm constantly analyzing myself, doing introspection, psychoanalysis of myself, okay? I'm an artist, okay? I've been an artist all the days of my life. And I can help because just as an artist learns how to look at what he's looking at and determine how to work it and place it on a canvas or mold it or sculpt it or talk about it or write or sing or poetry or whatever, I can help you. But here is your solution. You're going to have to listen to me and believe me and trust me that it doesn't have to be this way. I remember back when I was 26 years old, I had a lot of advantages, okay? I'd been educated, I had parents that cared for me and gave me what I needed. But I had to do everything on my own. I had to work with my skills. I had to do athletics, whatever I could do. I had to do it or nothing would happen. I wouldn't be standing here right now talking to you. And then one day, I had to go to further schooling. I ended up getting married. I've been married for 34 years. I have grown, raised kids. I've done the whole gamut, okay? And I still feel as though I wish I could live for something bigger. You're the bigger thing. You're what I want to live for. But I can't charge for it because people like you that would come to me otherwise, if they had to pay, you know, I could sit down. You would at first sight, your letter would sound like, oh my gosh, we're going to look at months and months, maybe years of therapy, okay? And I could milk that out if you had money Even, and I could go that way, but I don't. Let me tell you why. Okay, I'm starting now. This is just kind of my intro. I do a different intro for every one of these videos to let you know who I am. Okay. What you need can't be given to you. The support mechanisms that I have can't be given to you. You can take it from me that they would help, but ultimately what they would do is they would give you self-esteem, self-value. A long time going down the road, developing skills and working on everything about your psyche, mind, body, spirit, everything. And you would be at a solid place. And you would never gravitate towards a person like this. This type of person would never gravitate towards you. And you would not be in the place that you're in wondering what to do. You would have never gone down that road. You know, my daughter, I always say to her, I give her advice, and she doesn't want to take it, but she listens to it, thank goodness. I don't know that she does it, though, and I know she still won't in her life. She's going to do whatever she's going to do. But I say, I want you to understand, I'm only telling you that there are many paths. There are many places to go, but there are many paths to get to anywhere that you go. All I'm trying to do is use my long life and earthly wisdom and experience to help you pick the easiest, not easiest isn't the word, the most beneficial and productive path for you. So your path is this. You must believe that you can be valuable and you have self-worth. But you can't believe that when others are telling you that you are not that, and maybe at this moment, maybe you aren't as much as you could be. So what you have to do is you have to start to develop. You have to start to reassure yourself that you're developing that self-worth. You said you can't leave, you don't know what you do, you don't have the financial means, you don't have the support mechanisms, you don't know how to get rid of this guy, all these things. The only thing you can do that isn't extreme, that won't complicate your situation further, is to go and look within and develop within. They say bloom where you're planted. You have to bloom in a hurricane, a rainstorm, a tornado, a blizzard. Oh my gosh, so many people would have a hard time blooming with what you've got to work with. And you can't tell the other people necessarily what you feel. You're already jumping off, ready to jump off the deep end. Lose all hope. Why? Because you don't have a solidity to stand on. Okay? Now, yeah, I had help, I had support, but I made it happen for me. You're going to have to making it happen for you without that help and support. And the only thing you've got is someone like me to tell you that you can do it. Here's what you need to do. You need to stop looking at the commonality things that society looks at. You need to probably stop doing almost everything you're doing. So much junk comes into our life, the misnomers of mankind, the foolishness, the lack of wisdom, and you take it on, and there's so much junk in it that you add it to what you're already carrying, and you can barely carry it, and you add it to the circumstances of your life, and you can barely make it. Of course. The first thing you have to do is cut off the resources. You can't do something and let everybody know it. I wouldn't go and let anybody know that you're now going to consider what I'm saying here. Because as soon as you start acting pompous or like you got something going on or secret or whatever kind of thing, they're going to say, what's wrong with you? And they're all going to be suspect because they're paranoid. They're broken people around you. And they're going to be paranoid of what you've got that they don't have. Oh, I got to make sure I can control her and power her and keep her in a box, keep her down. As soon as you tell anybody, and the pressure will be too much, so don't even let on that you have anything going on in yourself. They're going to try to stifle you. They want to keep you where you are. The people that don't want to support you, the people that want to use you, the world around you, the powers that be, all want to keep you as you are or let you be expendable and die. That's what they want. But you know you're worth more than that because you don't want that. But you have to prove it to yourself that you're worth more than that. So what you've got to do is very difficult. You've got to develop where you are and who you are with all this other stuff going on. I don't know if you're very good at charades or being an actress, but you're going to have to almost act on the outside so that you can go through your life in a balanced manner and develop these other aspects inside of you while you're doing the rest of your life. One of the things you can do, and don't be false because people will probably see through you, is use sugar rather than salt. Start to be nice. Nice is a bad word, right? But project a wholesome, nice quality. Be easy to get along with. Be a little giving. Do whatever you need to do while you're developing yourself and rising higher. Okay? Because you've got to keep everything at play because I can't put you in the witness protection program. Somebody can't swoop in and say, hey, don't worry, I'm going to save you. You're going to save yourself. Okay? And you're going to do that by having the gumption. You have to believe me that this can be done. To make sure that this starts to work. That you start to do this without letting other people know. And as you start to become more wise, introspective, start to realize why you are what you are, why you have the problems you have to keep living with those problems the whole time. Not making more problems, but starting to shed off some of the problems that you had that were a part of you, like a phoenix rising from the ashes. You're burnt to a crisp, but you can still fly if you believe you can. And the parts that made you make the decisions you made and react to the things the way you react to them, they've got to be ashes falling from your wings. Your weight and your things that pull you down, that you naturally allow to pull you down, and you don't know any better, because you didn't meet somebody that could help you with that, unfortunately. You don't need somebody. You're the somebody, okay? You just have to believe that what I'm saying is real. And that's hard, I know. You never saw me before in your life. But I'm telling you, I'm living proof that I'm just telling you this stuff right now, okay? Just off of reading your letter, just now. Why is it rolling off the tongue? Why am I doing it? Because I knew I needed to do something and make it work. And so I did. I'm almost positive that you're going to want to talk to me again. Because you're going to go, well, wow, that's easy to say that stuff. But what do I do? What's practical stuff? What's the practical stuff? And I can talk to you again, but here's the thing. One of the reasons why I don't charge is because if everybody came to me that wanted something, and I constantly had people coming in and asking new things and constantly talking to them personally and whatnot, and even just making generic videos like this, there wouldn't be enough of me to go around. I have to do things that can support myself as well. So the most I can give you, this is the least I've given anybody, but it's also the most. I try to put the whole thing that somebody needs in every video that I've ever made. You're so downtrodden that the only way you can lift yourself is to believe that you can. From another person that also reinforces that belief and tells you you can. That's your first step. And that step's going to go for a while. That step's going to go for a while. I don't know how to solve the problems that you have. You have to become a different person. Conscious Counseling 101 helps a person psychoanalyze themselves. And they also, another very important tool is to help you look at your situation from every type of different angle that you have. And it never looks the same. It never looks the same. And by looking at something differently, you can say, well, I've got this, it's not all bad. But you also have to say, oh, how did I get here? What did I do? Why did I do these things? Why do I feel like I'm needy? Well, money, right? Yeah, money's a lot of the things. But a lot of people that don't have money don't have the problems that you have. Maybe they have different ones. And some people that do have money have a lot of problems too. So don't feel bad. Look at things from a different perspective and say, I want a desire to reach out, I can have this, and another person says I can because he has. That's the first step. Gosh, I know that's hard to think about for a 26-year-old that probably needs to have more self-value and esteem and feeling better about themselves. But that's the first step. Take that step for a while and don't let others know that you're doing it necessarily. Warm up. Be the best thing you can be to their overall perception of you as well at the same time. I'm Paul Roberts. This is Conscious Counseling 101. Talk with me again. Tell me what your thoughts are on what I've said.